Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudhlil fala hadiyalah. Okay, save time. Let's get started. Today, at my teaching, I will explain the sophistications of Sophia. Sophia, a transparent school allows people to literally peer into the head of Sophia, one of the most sophisticated humanoid robots yet built. Hong Kong firm Hanson Robotics created Sophia with an advanced neural network and delicious motor controls that allow the machine to emulate human social integration. Bentar. Ruby's face stretched into familiar shapes, driven by tiny motor, and a distant version of artificial intelligence. It is the future. Meet Sophia, a social robot created by former Disney Imagineer David Hanson, modeled in part after Audrey Hepburn and Hanson's wife. The robot was built to mimic social behaviors and inspire feelings of love and compassion in humans. Ever since her unveiling in 2016, Sophia has rocketed to stardom. The robot has set for TV interviews, appeared on the cover of LA magazine, been parodied on HBO, and was appointed the UN first non-human innovation champion. In a ceremony promoting a tech conference, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia event conference citizenship on Sophia. An ironic move given the limited rights offered to Saudi women and migrant workers. But for photographer Giulio Disturco, seeing Sophia at press events at her creators promotes their AI business singularity, and it was enough. As he searched for a visual metaphor for the future, he want to see the robot place of creation too. engineers to eh. Okay, he said he said engineers work in the hands-on robotic lab in Hong Kong, which is often often referred to as the House of Sophia. Eventually, Turco became the first photographer to step inside Hong Kong-based hands-on robotic. A frenetic space spilling over with robotic parts and human technicians stitching them together. The setting's strangers only deepened once he starts photographing his most peculiar subject. In the beginning, it was a bit difficult. Sophia didn't recognize the camera, but after years, she kind of learned. Uh, I don't know if the engineer put something in the software, or if or if she went online and did some research, but he started to post. This survey state. Nah, langsung aja. For the next. Sophia creator argue in turn that her expensiveness alone represents a major feat. According to a publication on Sophia software, deep neural networks let the robot discern someone emotion from their tone of voice and facial expression and react in kind. Sophia also can mirror people posture and her code generates realistic facial movement. Hanson has science pants the flexible rubber skin that covers Sophia's face. Masih banyak ternyata. Wait, open in email. A student at the University of Hong Kong participates in a guided meditation session with Sophia. None of this is what I would call AGI, but nor is it simple to get working. AI researcher Ben Gorzel, who designs Sophia Brain, said in an interview with the Verge, and it is absolutely cutting edge in terms of dynamic integration of perception, action, and dialogue. For this tutor, all of this adds up to outcome compelling photographic subject, a machine that cannot cannot once look utterly human and utterly devoid of life. Uh, he said she start she start to look at me and smile, and I look at her, and at that point for me, she was not human, but there was kind of a connection. He says, uh, "Your kin, you kind of get out of the lab, the future, and you really sometimes crazy. There is something there in Sophia." Okay, maybe that's all from me, from explanation about Sophia, and last I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.